Land of diverse cultures, land of many faiths, land of countless peoples. Syria is a great cradle of civilization, whose history of human settlement stretches back more than 5,000 years. Numerous peoples have mixed across these lands through the centuries. Babylonians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, and many others, each contributing to the rich tableau that is modern Syria. These civilizations have left behind archaeological treasures of unmatched beauty. They testify to a long tradition of creativity in Syria that continues to this day. For many Syrians, it's not only about ancient stones and medieval walls. These remnants form part of their identity. The most famous monument in Syria is the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus. Built around the turn of the 8th century atop the ruins of a Roman temple and a Byzantine church, it is one of the oldest standing mosques in the world. It is renowned for its mosaic depictions of paradise, recalling the decoration of churches in Rome, Ravenna, and Istanbul. In a desert oasis in the center of Syria stands Palmyra. 2,000 years ago, the city was a center of trade spanning the Mediterranean and Central Asia. Her temples, colonnades, and tombs bear witness to her wealth and the many cultures that mixed here. From 267 to 274 AD, Zenobia, Queen of Palmyra, led a short-lived rebellion against the Roman Empire, which has been memorialized ever since in art, poetry, and song. In western Syria stands another ancient metropolis, Apamea. It is renowned for its great Cardo Maximus, lined with hundreds of columns and stretching for over a mile. In antiquity, it was a center of Platonic philosophy and later of Christianity. Beside the ancient ruins stand a well-preserved 13th century castle, Qal'at al-Mudiq. Nearby stands the Crusader fortress of Crac du Chevalier, widely regarded as among the finest examples of medieval castle architecture in the world. Built between the 12th and 13th centuries, the fortress guarded a strategic gap between the Mediterranean coast and inland Syria. Inside her massive stone walls, the Crusaders built an elegant chapel, which was converted into a mosque after the Mamluks seized control. Further north, the city of Aleppo is home to Syria's greatest medieval monuments. The largest city in the country, and perhaps its most diverse, Aleppo is home to an imposing 12th century citadel, built atop a hill that has been the site of numerous temples and fortresses over the centuries. Aleppo also contains one of the finest souks in the Middle East, a warren of winding alleyways and storerooms which dates mostly to the period of the Ottoman occupation in the 16th and 17th centuries. There is also the Great Mosque of Aleppo, whose foundations date to the time of the Arab conquests, but whose present structure was built mostly after the 13th century. Finally, there are the dead cities of northern Syria, the remains of vibrant farming communities from the Byzantine period, built in a highland region known as the Limestone Massif. Here stand many ancient churches, tombs, and civic buildings, the most famous of which is the Basilica of Saint Simeon, a 5th century monk who spent his life praying high atop a column. The pilgrimage site that built up around his column was among the most popular in the ancient world, drawing visitors from as far as Britain and Persia. These precious monuments are not immune to the violence that has swept through Syria since the start of the uprising in 2011. Some have been victims of shelling and gunfire. Others have become bases for armies and militias. Others have succumbed to looting. Syria's cultural heritage is in crisis. As the fighting closes in on Damascus, bombs have exploded close to some of the city's medieval monuments. Palmyra has been hit by widespread pillaging. Tanks have rolled through the ancient streets of Afamia, destroying nearby antiquities. Crac du Chevalier has served as a military base and become a target for bombing. Soldiers have occupied the citadel of Aleppo. A massive fire swept through the city's souk, and the Great Mosque stands in partial ruin. Fighting and looting have spread throughout the dead cities. The time to act is now. Damage to Syria's heritage affects the country's economy, which relies on tourism and foreign visitors. Damage to Syria's heritage robs the world of priceless relics of a shared human past. Above all, damage to Syria's heritage is damage to the soul of the country. Join us in saving Syria's patrimony and in turn, help us save Syria's identity for future generations.